Yeah, that's a pretty big rubber mat. That's, yeah. Hello Life players, welcome to the channel. My name is Camelange, and today we're going to be reviewing the Houshou birthday celebration set from 2025. As of recording this video, and probably around the same time that I post this video, it'll have been approximately 1 week since this arrived. I ordered this back on July 31st of last year, 2025, and it arrived 2026, February 11th. Not terrible turnaround time for one of these bigger sets. I did get the entire collection, the limited set that includes the signed Marine postcard here. We're going to look at each item one by one. We have the rubber mat, the postcard, the Marine's Treasure Box deck box, which I'm the most excited about, the awesome Marine birthday card, the Marine TCG sleeves, it comes with 60 of them, and we have an acrylic card display here. So let's take a look at each item individually, and I'll give you my thoughts on if this set was worth it or not. Unfortunately, if you end up liking this and wanting it for yourself, the pre-orders were a long time ago, so you're going to have to buy them secondhand. You're probably going to have to go through scalpers or something similar off eBay. Hopefully you can find a reasonable price if you do like it, but just with the nature of how these items go, I'm not able to review them until they arrive, and they always do them by a pre-order basis. That's just the reality of the situation, but just want to be transparent with you, and you can make that decision for yourself. I'll also add that the price I paid for this full set with the limited edition, subtotal $110, but after delivery for another $64, custom duties another $35, and tax another $17, I paid $227 for this set. Very pricey. It's more than double the subtotal of just getting the set. It's a bit unfortunate. I know that HoloLive has updated some of their practices and are working with a different distributor that I believe will alleviate some of the customs costs. I don't know the full details about it, but they have information out there that they have posted about that you can look more into. But for now, that's everything that I know. First, let's start with the rubber mat, because I think that's going to make the most sense. We can use it as the backdrop here for the rest of the video. Sorry, Narissa. You can see that the size is 60 by 60 centimeters. It's kind of weird. It's a completely square rubber mat. Depending on how this looks, I wonder if you could maybe set it up in a way that you could play with someone across from you and you both share the same playmat, or if this is really meant just for like a computer desk layout. I'll open it up and take a look, but you can kind of get a preview of what the design is here. It's the same art that's on the birthday card. So let's get this out of the plastic and unroll it. Yeah, that's a pretty big rubber mat. That's, yeah. You could definitely play with two decks on this. Here she is in all of her glory. This is the Houshou Marine rubber mat, and I just gotta say this art is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna kind of just roll it up so you can get the full body look. But yeah, I mean, it's Marine, so kind of to be expected that it's gonna be on the spicier side, but the art is really fantastic. The playmat itself is pretty thin, definitely is light, but it feels like it's good quality. The edges don't look particularly frayed to me. It does seem like one of those kind of rubber mats that will definitely get frayed over time with use, but that's to be expected with most playmats. The print quality of this is incredible. Like, you can even see it through this webcam. Like, the line art is so clean, the colors look great, very vibrant, everything's popping, and it like photographs so well even with this webcam. It is an HD webcam, but still, like, it just looks so clean. I'm really happy with this. I'm glad I got the full set. I was a little on edge about getting the rubber mat because it is an awkward size, but I could see this being a fun playmat to play with if you have someone else across from you and you both want to support Sencho. And definitely a fan of this and hoping I don't get flagged on YouTube. Next, we're going to take a look at the birthday card. I figure I would just like to get this out of the promo plastic and put into a case. As it goes with these birthday cards, they're not usually made to be strong. They're more just for collecting. Probably never going to see this in English. I hope one day they'll make these birthday cards that they've been doing with these sets as English promos, but kind of feels unlikely at this point. But again, awesome art, matches with the mat, and I'm going to go ahead and rip this open. It does have a little spot for you to tear. I've noticed that with like almost all HoloLive card packaging, which is pretty nice. So there she is. There's a better look at the card out of the plastic. Very nice. It's the quality we've come to expect from the HoloLive official card game. It looks great, feels great. Big fan. And bada bing bada boom. Again, doesn't look great on camera in the case, but we got a better look at it outside of the plastic, so we're just gonna have her hang out over here where the lighting isn't as harsh. Next, we're going to open up our acrylic case. So this is a better look at the box. You can see a preview of the art here. The flag with her logo on it seems to be the base of the acrylic, and she's got herself and her mascot here. And it looks like the card sits at an angle, which is pretty interesting. I have a feeling it's not going to fit like this big of a case, so it could be cool to display this just outside in its normal sleeve, but let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at it. Here we go. It's in bubble wrap. We'll set aside the box. So I totally misread this. It's not an acrylic. I just assumed it was. It is a figurine of Maureen. That's so cool. It's a full-on figure that goes with your display. Look at that. That is awesome. I'm even happier with this purchase now. I really expected it to be an acrylic, but this is so high quality. Here is the base of it. Again, it's her crew flag with the logo of the Houshou Marine Pirates. And here we have her mascot. This is actually an acrylic, so this is what I expected Maureen to be like as well. So just this part and the base are acrylic, and we have the really cool figure. That bag also comes with this, which is how I assume you connect the figurine to stand up on the base. We're gonna go ahead and assemble the whole thing. Now, contrary to what you may think, the hole in the back of her head is not because she's stupid, it's because you're supposed to put this in here. That's what it's there for. So here it is fully assembled. The back part with the stand is a little awkward because it doesn't really click into place. Sometimes that's the case with these stands. Sometimes they do with a little bit of pressure go into place. I tried getting it to click to see if it was possible, but I don't want to exert too much pressure because I'm afraid that I will damage the figure. Kind of just loosely in there, but you know, it holds its place pretty well. Let's test it with the Maureen card. Looking at the back of this, there's kind of like a weird edge in its back that I think was like maybe supposed to line up with the card. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I figured it out, everybody. The top of the bear has an opening. The Kuma, it's supposed to sit in there like this. That's how it works. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I wonder if I'll leave that in or if I'll edit it out. So now that we know how the card goes into place, let's put it together again. Here is, I can't really display it properly without tilting. There we go, it kind of stays in place. Still don't like it. It's very fickle. I wouldn't want to really leave a card in there that was valuable. Maybe, you know, like a common card could be fun to put in there, just like one of the lower rarity Maureen, just as a display, but I don't know, it's just kind of awkward to me. Just kind of sits there. I don't know. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. It works, and I'm glad we figured it out, and by we I mean me finally using my brain. And just to show y'all not crazy, that is how they want you to show it. With like on the display box, they have the card at this angle. I'm doing it as God intended. Okay, we have 3 more items left, so let's move on to the next one. Here are our Maureen sleeves. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it does come with 60 of them. You could use these to do a 50 card HoloLive deck and have 10 extras, or you could do 3 cheer decks with 20 cards each. I prefer to use these kind of sleeves on my cheer deck because I also double sleeve it and use the mat so that the sleeve art stays intact and doesn't get damaged. And I prefer shuffling just pure matted cards, so I like these as kind of a nice flair on my cheer decks, and then my main decks are just like solid matte sleeves. But this design's really nice. I like that it's different from the art that's on the mat and the card. It just makes it feel a little bit more unique. I like this art. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's go ahead and open it up. Here's a better look at the sleeve. Got a nice gloss on it. It's basically what you would expect from this type of anime illustration sleeve. No complaints here. Okay, now this one I'm really excited for. We've got ourselves the Maureen's Treasure Box deck box. It feels pretty lightweight. I'm curious how this comes together, if it's magnet or something else, so let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, here is the unwrapped deck box. Really intricate designs and patterns here. The stitching is nice. The material itself doesn't feel like anything particularly fancy, but it does overall feel and look well made. I'm pretty happy with that. And here on the flap, it is in fact a magnet, which I love. That's my preferred kind of deck box, so it does stay nicely closed with that slight magnetic grip on it. We got this nice red fabric here. It also comes with 2 dividers, just standard black dividers. Would be cool if this had more Maureen art on it, but I guess that's fine, not a big deal. And it has enough space for 2 decks, or maybe just 1 deck and your cheer deck. I think it would be cool if there had been like maybe an extra compartment just to put your dice and stuff in, but overall as a double deck box, really nice. I like this a lot. Pretty solid click. And yeah, again, the designs are awesome. And I mean, just having her treasure chest, I think is just such a cool piece of merchandise. And all of this stuff is so TCG related that of course I had to go ahead and grab it so that I can put my Maureen deck in here. But yes, very solid deck case. Pretty happy with how this turned out. To me, this is like the star item. If this was disappointing, then it would kind of make everything else feel a little bit more lackluster. And last but not least, we have her postcard. Let's take it out of the plastic sleeve here. One thing I wanted to note that was a little disappointing, the way that my package was put together, it was in a very long kind of tube box, which feels weird because that kind of stuff is normally reserved for wall scrolls and things like that. Everything's just kind of in slightly separate packaging, just kind of stacked in this box. And this was at the very bottom of the box. It doesn't show well on camera, and I was able to fix it pretty decently, but there's like a very slight, you can kind of see it here at this angle. There was like a slight indent from it being shipped. So that's disappointing. I'm not thrilled about that. The damage could be worse, so overall, not a big deal, not the end of the world, but just something I wish they would have packaged a little better. I think they at least tried. It was in bubble wrap, but I think just the weight of the stuff on it and whichever way the box is being held probably just put this at an awkward angle and put too much pressure on it and caused it to bend. Unfortunate, but it is a nice postcard. The art is awesome. And we've got the message from Maureen. Of course, it's not actually written on there. It is handwritten and copied in this gold foil, but very cool nonetheless. I love her signature. It's such a cool design. So many of the Holo girls just have genius designs. I love how her name is like the waves that the boat is on, and of course the M being her pirate logo with the eye patch. Just so awesome. The back of this is sealed, so just for the sake of my collection and the fact that opening this doesn't really change the look at this, except it'll be a little less glossy, I am going to leave it as is at the moment, so apologies if you wanted to see it outside of the envelope, but I just want to kind of maintain its integrity for a bit longer. And I can't read Japanese, so I used our good friend Google Translate just to get a rough translation of what this says. So of course, as the date of her birthday, 2025, July 30th. Happy birthday, I'm so happy to receive it. The new costumes for 2 million people are usually Japanese kimonos, although the snowfall is modest. I don't fully understand this because she has 4 million subscribers on YouTube, so I don't think the 2 million is a reference to the amount of people that follow her. The new costumes, I don't know if there's something else related to this. In the comment section, if you know more, please help me out. The Google Translate is not doing me many favors. It does say towards the end of the top right section, eyes on the thighs, you can do it, right? So they translated that part pretty well. That seems like something Maureen would say. Her thighs are certainly displayed. The bottom left section, I want to celebrate all sorts of things, show you all sorts of marine life, and make lots of memories. I may be a captain with a lot of flaws, but I'm confident that you love me, so thank you for being by my side so I can live. We're in love. Very sweet. Again, rough translation, but I think it conveys the message pretty well, what she was trying to say. And very sweet. Very marino. Yeah, this is a really great collection set. My overall review of it is I like the birthday card. It would be cool if this was foil and not just kind of a standard print card, but all the birthday cards have been that way so far, so I'm not surprised. The sleeves are nice. The sleeves do match with the postcard, so you're getting the postcard and sleeves with the same design, and then the rubber mat and the card with the same design. There is the synergy there. Before, I didn't realize that this art and this art were going to be the same, so that's pretty nice. Having the two different pieces of art, they didn't just use the same art across everything and call it a day. So I do appreciate that. I really love this Maureen figure, but I don't really love it as what it was made for. I think it's better as just like a cool little display, but that's my opinion. And the deck box itself, I'm a big fan of. Very nice. The material, like I said, isn't anything super fancy. It's all pretty lightweight, but I think for a deck box, that's kind of a good thing. You don't want it to be super heavy, and it's going to get heavier when you put all your cards in there. So I'm happy with it. It feels solid, looks pretty high quality, feels high quality, and everything here overall feels like it was printed high quality. Like I said, the rubber mat is really clean. The art is very beautifully printed on here. I would say overall, I'm happy with my purchase. I think if you are a big Maureen fan, this is definitely a great set to have. She is my second favorite of HoloLive JP. I'm sorry everyone, Corona is still my number one, but I love Maureen, she's fantastic. And I had to have this set, especially because of all the OCG stuff. And that's why I wanted to review it on here, because it is so OCG oriented. I wouldn't normally review like the birthday sets and things like that, but if you are curious about other stuff and you want me to review things that aren't just HoloLive OCG, let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate any feedback. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Like, comment, and subscribe, please! Don't forget to like and comment too, thank you! Hi, Cameron.